Hello, so I'm going to be streaming for an hour if I manage to make it for an hour. I'll just obviously say in advance while I'm waiting for people to come on for anybody watching the stream back. If you want to donate via Super Chat, that helps out, or donate via Patreon, or buy the merchandise via Teespring. All of that gives me a bit of money that goes towards stuff I use on the channel. So wait people to get on, and then we can have a chat. I thought I'd wear the Mark 6 helmet again before I end up putting this into storage again soon, because obviously I've got the Mark 6A now, so I thought might as well wear it for the stream. See where I've shot this a few times with the air rifles there. Funnily enough, it cut an actual 12 foot-pound air rifle can't shoot through the Mark 6 as weak as it is. But there you go. Sadly, it offers almost no protection, Mr. J. The Mark 6A is much better because they actually made it out of Kevlar. But the regular Mark 6, it's not going to give you much head protection. You can't. That's the joke, isn't it, Preston? But, yeah, so evening to everybody. Don't forget to like the stream as usual, because the more people who seem to like the stream, the more YouTube actually seems to send the notifications out properly for people, rather than having 60,000 subscribers and maybe 100 people at most getting a notification. What's IGHT, Peach? Or do you mean all right? That's interesting, Richard. I know he didn't get through one of the older helmets, did he, of a crossbow, like a French one, just a regular steel pot. Right now, I've got this at the moment. You know, those microwavable, I can't remember what they're called. They have a name, don't they? Just for my stomach, because I've been in pain with that all day again today. So yeah, I'm eagerly counting down the days now to I've got my doctor's appointment to hopefully have my medicine revised. Yeah, I've watched Chernobyl. That gets asked every stream, so I still watched it. But yeah, very good. I don't know if I'll be very motivated to watch the Russian version of it, though, where they said the CIA did it. Cheers, Preston. Alright, I don't know if I'll bother doing this up. Cheers, Mr. J. Or MRJ, however your name's. Well, regular Mark 6 helmets aren't all that nice. They look cool. I kind of like the fact they look quite sci-fi. You know, they remind me a bit of Starship Troopers or something. But obviously, if I was going to wear one of the Mark 6s for protection, I'd definitely wear the Mark 6A. But I think this one looks cooler from the outside. See, if you've got a helmet cover on, they look exactly the same. And obviously, the Mark 7 helmet I've got is better than both of these. But I'm not sure what size I'm meant to be of a Mark 6, because this one's a small and it actually fits my head pretty well, I think. But in lots of other helmets, I'm medium, so it's a bit strange. But no, that's for the riot visor. What that is they have those on, then you can mount like a riot helmet visor on the front. I might have a look on eBay and see if I can find one of those visors for sale, because if I can, I'll definitely mount it to the helmet. But I think they're pretty rare. There's the visor mounts are 14 quid, but I can't actually see any of the visors themselves. Let's just search helmet visor. No. There's one for $34.99. It says British Army anti-mine helmet visor assembly. But I don't know if that's the actual one that fits on the Mark 6 or not. Actually, looking at the... Yeah, it is the one that fits on the Mark 6, because it's got those little bits included with it. But I wouldn't pay 35 quid for just like a polycarbonate visor for this. Alright, glad you enjoyed the videos, Mega Twins. What do you mean by military kit, Jonah? Like what bit? Like rifles, helmets, what? Or do you mean anything in my collection? Obviously the SLR is my favourite DIAC, but... Well, sadly, generic username IUC Pain's been playing up again quite a few days recently. So I'm trying to stay in a good mood, but obviously, you know. All right, Schmidt. Whereabouts are you from in Germany then? Like sort of what town or area? I don't use a GOST filter on the GP5. I use a Polish FP5 filter, which is normalized, or one of the equivalents of the FP5, like the FP211s. Yeah, I did tell people Ghost Jesus to give it a like because my videos get shared more if people give it a like, but a lot of them didn't bother or weren't listening. Probably planes, to be honest. But it depends because obviously there are tanks I like and planes I like. I've not had all that much of an interest in ships for some reason, although ships are kind of like logistically the most important, aren't they? For sort of what's the word, force projection, isn't it? But I've always just found all the variations of planes quite interesting. Avon CT12 Jacek. We're still only up to 16 likes at the moment, though. 27 viewing, 16 likes. All right, cheers, leaving. So that's interesting. How much? Oh, so 250 zloty. So what that's like, I would guess, 5 zloty is about £1, isn't it? So 50 zloty would be £10. So what's that, like £40-50 sort of price? I've got a Dacia Sandero at the moment. It's fine. Some favourite cars, the Dacia Sandero. Sadly, Peach, there's no way of enforcing that because you don't know who's given a like or not. Although the ratio, there we go, it's finally got to 23 viewers, 23 likes. But yeah, just as I was saying before, for people who maybe joined it before I said at the beginning, if you want to support me, you can buy the merch that's at the Teespring, link below, like the mugs and that, and the hoodies and everything. I've got one on now. Or you can donate via Super Chat on the side there, or you can support via Patreon. Big thanks to everybody who's done that recently. Oh no, Windows 10 has decided it wants to restart my PC. Let me tell it to fuck off just a second. Because yeah, Windows 10. Oh no, we want to restart your device soon because we've done an update. No, fuck yourself, Windows 10. Oh, 3 zlotys, £1. Okay, when I went to Poland a few years ago, it was about 5 zloty, but I suppose the pound's collapsed quite a lot since then, so that'd be why. That's good, Richard. Sadly, I don't have any of the production facilities to manufacture my own gas mask. All right, cheers, MRJ. What do you mean, like masks where my opinion changed on it, generic user? When I first got the Scott GSR, I thought the Scott GSR seemed really cool. And obviously, the more I used it and the more impractical I found bits of it, and then obviously the more reports that came out about, bits not working with the GSR and all that, that put me off the GSR a lot. And I've come to like the M17 a lot more than I used to, just because a lot of the flaws with cheek filter masks aren't all there on the original M17. Some of them just came about on the cheaper cheek filter clone masks made by some of the Warsaw Pact nations. And the M17 did have some kind of good design choices in it. All right, everything Chameleon and Billy Bean. Don't talk about food, Peach, because my stomach fucking hurts. What are you on about, Mega Twins? Is that like song lyrics or something? I've got a Canadian C3, yeah. the Canadian C3 is essentially a British light anti-gas respirator Mark II with more improvements. Yeah, it'd be good to get something like that, wouldn't it, leaving Zeus? Give you very good head protection, certainly better than this helmet. When I bought it years ago, bear in mind this is probably around 2010, 2011 sort of time, the C3 was somewhere between £20 and £30, I think, with free postage because it didn't come from Canada. All right, cheers, Preston. But then, yeah, what was I going to say? That but now they're much harder to find, so I think you'd end up paying a lot more for them. That's strange shit, Schmidt, but the interesting thing is German eBay is where I've got some of the rarer American masks from, just because American masks are export banned from the US, so often they end up getting sold on from German military bases, or like, you know, US military bases in Germany. Completely down to opinion, MRJ. One of the S10s I ended up getting for like £15. Yeah, that's the sword on the wall, by the way. Right, my favourite masks, I did a video on this recently, so you can watch that. But my favourite masks would be the Avon CT12, Spaciani TR2002, the Scott M98, and what was the other one I mentioned in there? Was it the Fushida F4? I can't remember if it was the Fushida F4 or a different one I mentioned in there, but that video shows you some of my current favourite masks to give you an idea of some of the masks I like. Look, I can do that thing with a chair. That's the problem with this helmet. So it's really low. It would be doing that, wouldn't it? If it was like I had the body armor on, just tilting forwards annoyingly like that. It's the CT12, isn't it, in the video I included, not the FM12. I didn't include the MP5 in that video. I think you're thinking of the wrong video. I definitely didn't include the MP5. Cheers, Radgar. If you want a Discord invite, post your Discord ID and then I can add you to the server. Unless you're thinking of that older video, which was a masks I'd recommend that sometimes turn up for reasonable prices that are quite good. A lot of them will cause severe discomfort if you're wearing them for too long. I found the masks that are very good for long-term comfort are things like this. It's why in the most recent video I was recommending more panoramic masks, just because obviously, I know you put the filter on the front, but just to demonstrate it for you. The thing is with, I'll see if the helmet fits a bit, why not, while I'm doing the things like these masks are generally very comfortable. And because they're panoramic, they're not as claustrophobic. So I think it's easier to wear these for a while. And you don't have to do the straps up particularly tight. And then, let's see. Oh, it just about fits for this. There you go. Then it won't go down as low as it normally would, but yeah. Yeah, with so many gas mask videos, it does certainly become, hard to start remembering exactly what I said in which video, and my opinions can change over time, obviously. All right, cool. But you weren't the one that just donated, were you, Prussian Empire? I was asking Radgar. You have to donate to get an invite. You can't just say, this is my thing, add me. Arthur, I have got probably approximately 130, 140, 150 at this point. The easiest way of working out the number of gas masks I've got is probably to go into my gas mask playlist, for anybody that's determined enough to do it, and then add up all the different masks for, like, you know, the tests and reviews of different masks. That would give you a pretty accurate number. Yeah, if it's a good all-round price, Steve, I'd recommend doing that. My ECBA should come tomorrow or Thursday. I'll get a video up on that when it comes. Right, you can either use Super Chat, Waste Alona, or you can use Patreon below. I'd also give a Discord link to people who buy stuff off of Teespring, but sadly there's no way of doing that. Just because Teespring actually doesn't let you contact people that buy from you. Yeah, because that's like 4 kilos at the front, 4 at the back, isn't it, Steve? I think the thing is with the ECBA as well, that I quite like the look of, is obviously the ECBA looks a lot more light. And I mean, obviously, if you want to use the ECBA plates in the Osprey, then you're not going to get that advantage. But I do think the ECBA looks quite good in terms of being a middle ground between sort of just like a soft Kevlar vest and an actual sort of plate carrier. Right, see ya. Have a good day at school if you can have a good day at school. To see if the other helmet fits. This one should, because it's a medium, not a small. I reckon that small one might actually fit better, just because it's, you know, it's got. I suppose, yeah, I could actually just tilt that. There we go, and then that's pretty similar. But it's quite interesting, Killstrike. There was a couple of people, unfortunately, bringing up political arguing about this country should have nukes, this one shouldn't, and I don't really approve of that. But yeah, the Pasket vest generally did. As far as I'm aware, the Pasket vest would have been Kevlar 2 or 3A, and if you Kevlar 2 and 3A is rated against most pistol rounds. So again, it wouldn't do anything to stop rifle rounds, but a lot of things like the Pasket tier stuff would protect you from pistol rounds. Yeah, it's even if you donated $1, like on Patreon, and then cancelled your subscription the next month, and you only paid once for $1, that gets you in. You just have to PM me and I'll sort you out an invite code. The only reason I do it that way is it's just a perk for people who've donated anything. So with my stuff, there's not any benefits to donating more, in all honesty, because I don't want to set up like membership tiers and say, oh, you only gave me $1, you know, like fuck off, like some channels do. So I've just got it set up on the thing of, you know, whatever you donate, just donate whatever you want, and then I'll send people an invite. Oh no, brown cow. I'm sure I did a Panto Daniel where that was like a joke in it. You have to be careful, don't you, of replicas, where you get stuff where you think you might be buying a real helmet and you get a replica. Oh, I'll take it off then, Schmidt. I could put a different mask on with a better voice diaphragm. Tell you what, I'm going to take my thing off in a second, just because it's quite warm. The hoodie. Just because, yeah, now I've had that, what's it called, on for a bit. It's really warmed me up. Because it's been sitting on, you know, like the lower part of my stomach the entire time. I'll have to warm that up again though once the stream's ended. But I'm just wondering, out of interest, if This one actually has a voice diaphragm, although it is a bit buzzy. I'm just wondering, to get that on, how this would look with the helmet. Just get a filter for it as well, so it all looks as it should. Let's get that screwed in. Filter screws in the side of this one, doesn't it? So give me a second, I'll get that and then be back. I'm not managing to screw this in very well. It's probably a side over, just give me a second and I'll be back over. Right, there we go. So that's that, and then let's see will this oh yeah, that bit's come off again because the screw fell out the other day and I don't actually know where it went, so I need to try and oh shit, that's fallen on the floor. Typical. Now I can't see it because I've got a mask on and I can't look down properly. Oh fuck it, I'll probably just take the liner out of this helmet at some point. Oh, not to worry, I can still just put it on like this for the stream. Oh, that fits very well with this, actually, saying that. Yeah, look at that. The Scott M98 fits perfectly with this helmet. A few people, Michael, had recommended different books and things, which was quite interesting, that I might look into. And some video series, but sadly a lot of it was just people arguing about, you know, saying things like, oh no, America was really evil to nuke Japan, and then, you know, people bitching at them in the other way. So sadly, everything turns into a politics stream, it seems, even when you don't want it to. I can't even remember how the Death Troopers sound in Rogue One. Do they just have a really sort of robotic, grumbly voice? What tier of Cybermen, Mr. J, or like Error or MRJ? Because I like the old Cybermen from like the black and white ones from like the 60s or whenever it was, where they talk like Stephen Hawking. What's the small mass kill strike? I recommend you a very good fiction book. Hang on. Should be on my shelf. Here we go. Because Mike was talking about this to me the other day. Roadside Picnic. There you go. The book Stalker's based on. My Volks Mask 44 isn't too small for me. My Volks Mask 44 fits me fine. It's just broken. Due to age. So, I'm going to try and remember to be honest, Michael, I cannot remember because I think I might have bookmarked one that was recommended. I'll put into Google and then obviously just close the tab later on. I'm trying to remember what the premise was. I don't know if it was an arms development thing, but I think it was very much a Trinity Beyond kind of thing, but as a book. No, I'm not on about like the recent things. I'm on about like the second Doctor, MRJ. You know, like Tomb of the Cybermen with the Patrick Troughton sort of era ones. See, I don't know what mask you mean, Killstrike. This is the problem. Mask that's too small, but I'm trying to think which mask that was. Because I can't think of many masks off the top of my head that don't fit me very well that I've got. Do you mean the German M65? Because in one of the older streams, I had the German M65 on. The M65 isn't handy right now, but I've got this. Size 1 Polish mask. Do you know which one you're on about? Size 1 Polish mask? The Polish masks I've got, MC1. Yeah, I can't think. But anyway, if you wanted to see what the helmet looked like with this, I'll try this quickly. Let me just sort the straps out before I do anything else because they're a bit tangled. So this is the Czech CM4. Sadly, I've not seen any of the more recent versions of the Czech masks on eBay, although I know they exist. If you mean that one, that's the Serbian M2. I can't get that handy. I can't even remember off the top of my head where in the house it's stored. But yeah, it's like the Finnish M61 and all the USM 9 copies, isn't it? But just in a I have to reattach that bit to the helmet, put it on for the stream. Actually, I can't, can I? Because the screw fell off. Alright, let's just do that. See if it fits with this helmet. I suppose that fits pretty well, doesn't it? Yeah, actually, that's good. If I get the thing back in, I'll definitely do a video testing his helmet with a few masks, because it does seem to fit on quite well with a few helmets. Or a few masks so far. Oh, that's interesting. I've heard of Ray of Hope from years ago, but it's nice to see they're actually doing stuff. Right, thanks, Steve. If you contact me on Patreon later, or I can do it the other way, I can get your Discord invite. Yugoslavian RPK is down there. The barrel's probably visible. Oh, no, it's just out of frame. See, there it is. There's the barrel on it. See you, MRJ. Oldest gas mask. I've got a lot of interwar masks, but the dates have worn off a lot of them, so very hard to tell actually from that. Yeah, if it's out and I can play co-op with people, that would be great to do videos on that. That's annoying, Vipin, but can you get a Fushida F2 for that sort of price? Because that would definitely be worth it. They're very similar masks. Assuming there's like a sort of bit of lettering there, is it? It just feels a bit weird where it's right next to the edge of the mask. Yeah, similar sort of writing they put on it. All right, Vladimir. It really depends on the mask, Schmidt. Some will work better than others. It depends whereabouts on your face they make the seal. Obviously, the more cleanly shaved you are and the shorter you keep your hair, the easier it is to fit a mask. But it's completely down to the mask, really. You haven't missed all the stream, no. Although I won't be on maybe a full hour today because I'm still ill with my UC at the moment. What was in 1942, Preston? That's cool. When you say good deal, do you mean a good seal? Because unless you had a charming moustache, I don't think that would influence the price you pay for a gas mask. Yeah, right. With most masks, I'll try and show you. Moustaches aren't always a problem because they're obviously there. Most masks obviously seal around the corners of your face, like you can see that there. However, on some masks, a moustache would stop the oral nasal cup working properly, depending on how big that is. If you had like a little Hitlery size moustache, that should be fine. But if you had, a moustache that went all the way down there and the oral nasal cup crossed across that bit, that could mean, the mask fogs up more easily. There's a version of this, I think it's called the CM4, and then it's got another letter on it, which is this with a panoramic lens, which always look cool, but I've never seen them for sale anywhere. It's because they're all basically based on the German M65. But yeah, there's this one, there's the Greek Cobra, the Israeli M15, the Bulgarian mask I've got up there. There's loads of masks with this kind of look, because I think technically America had a mask in World War II, which was this kind of shape and design. Of course, then when Germany made the M62 and then the M65, lots of nations just kind of did copies of that. But a lot of them ended up putting voice diaphragms here rather than having the exhale valve here. And they just put the exhale valves lower down, so they made the masks better. No, I think Hulk Hogan's facial hair Preston would stop him using a gas mask. Well, what I find strange is that it's called M71, which would be a military designation, but then it's for civil defence. But again, it could have been one of those ones, I imagine, intended for military use and then just thrown as in as a civil defence mask. Yeah, I've heard that, Bingley, yeah. Although I've also heard that he shaved his moustache like that after the war, because there's pictures of him in World War I with just a little moustache like that. And then obviously, supposedly he shaved it just to be like that to make it more striking for political photos. But a lot of that's never going to be known now, is it, from history? But yeah, in World War One, lots of guys did have the small little pencil moustaches. And also bear in mind, there weren't oral nasal cups in World War One masks. So if you imagine a mask like this, and then it didn't have the nasal cup inside it there, your moustache wouldn't matter as long as it didn't go all the way down to your chin like that. It's not going to interfere with the seal of the mask. Now, I've not heard anything about the police saying a grab bag. Is that like a bug out bag? Let's have a look at what they say. What, there's a BBC article on it. Grab bag. I keep one for peace of mind. A police campaign to get the public to pray a grab-and-go bag in case of emergencies has been accused of scaremongering and mocked on social media, but for some they are a sensible precaution. It's kind of interesting, isn't it, that you can have people who do prepping sort of stuff, and I said I'm not really a prepper just because I'm chronically ill. There's no point for me being a prepper because I'd be so fucked. But it's kind of funny, isn't it, when people do prepping stuff, even when it's not silly prepping stuff, you get the people go, "Oh, you're just a paranoid idiot." And then you get the police telling you, maybe it's a good idea to do this. And then you still get people go, "Oh, you're a paranoid idiot." Oh, yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea as long as you set one up properly. If somebody does one but they don't have any food or water in it, toilet roll, whatever, that kind of thing. And then they have one that's probably just filled with, I don't know, fucking bollocks they put in it, Yeah, as long as it's a prop, that's fine, Avon. But remember, you can't have battens in the UK as a civilian. At least not, extendable style battens. Yeah, I definitely need to find that screw and sort this helmet out after the stream because it's annoying me. I've not got the strap, isn't working in that side at the moment because the thing's fallen out, and I've also had the other side of the screw fall out. Yeah, it would, Rich, because it does up there. So unless you had a proper neck beard, because it ties up at the neck, it would work with a beard. Also, if you had a mask with a powered respirator thing on it, the powered air pump, or one with an oxygen tank or air tank, that would work if you had a bit of a beard, as long as it wasn't too big, because the pressure inside the mask is greater than the outside. It's the reason that in the Royal Navy, you can have a beard, but you can't in the RAF or the Army, because it's to do with, respirators at work, and because the Navy all has air supplied ones, they don't have to worry about conventional, negative pressure seals. All right, Mike. Yeah, the thing I've heard a lot about, Steve, with stuff like that is people who pack tourniquets, whatever they're called, tourniquets into their stuff like that, where obviously because they don't know how to use one properly, they run the risk of basically forcing their limb to be amputated. If you know, like, oh, I've got a cut, I'll put a tourniquet on, and then they just cut the blood flow off to the point their limbs, essentially dies. What I was doing earlier, Mike was just testing this with a few things. What I need to do is typically when I started doing the video, the other day, you can see the hole in it there. That's where one of the screws goes through on this one. One of the connectors fell out for this. And then when I was doing the stream, the other side of it fell out. And I don't know where the first one's gone. Let's just see if I put my glasses on, if I can see on the floor. Well, that's rolled too. It's quite a bright coloured screw, so it should be. I can see that bit. Right, good. There's the one bit of it. There's that. Right, so. We were asked about books earlier, Mike, and I just showed this because I said I was talking to you about Stalker the other day. I wonder if they mentioned Stalker or the film on here. I was seeing if it mentioned in like the forward bit of it, if they'd mentioned the Stalker games in here. But not that I can see, there's not much reference to other things. All right, so when you've got a tourniquet on, it's really painful, is it? Yeah, whether or not Stalker 2 will be any good, though, I don't know. Right, anyway, let me reattach this bit to this helmet before I lose it again. So, yeah, what I need to do is get this. This bit's quite simple, at least. Just get that. Put this through it. There we go. Then stick that back through that hole. But the issue is now, I still need to find wherever that bloody other screw rolled off of the other day, so I can actually reattach that. I'm sure I could, if I needed to, find another kind of screw that would fit it. It's just annoying that, obviously, when I bought the helmet, the screw was with it, and now since it's fallen off in my bedroom somewhere and I can't find it. Finish M9? Or do you mean the Finish M61? Yeah, that's a good price one. They're nice masks. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, like we were saying, that people seem to want to put in bug out bags, even if they have no idea what they're doing with them. Like, I wouldn't have any idea what I'm doing with them. It's like with rebreathers, when people keep saying, why don't you do a video where you put a scrubber unit on your rebreather and use it? It's like, because you don't fuck about with rebreathers. Unless you're properly trained to use them and you know your rebreather's in good condition, it could harm you for the rest of your life or kill you. So no, I don't want to fuck about with a rebreather, thank you. Oh, cool. The toxic dump one, are you looking at the Fallout Shelter one? Because the camera's mirrored on the webcam, so I'm never sure which bit people are on about. All right, Swan. Yeah, I'm not going to be on too much longer because where my stomach's been playing up again, I need to keep heating this sort of every hour just so I get a bit of warm pressure on it. It's gone cold again now. The Fallout Shelter, yeah, that's just a printout of a Fallout Shelter picture on Google Images. But yeah, that's the thing, Steve, isn't it? If you don't know what you're doing, you could do more harm to yourself or others. And again, yeah, you're adding extra weight and bulk, aren't you, in a bag where you could use it for bottles of water or something. Only if you get a 60 to 40 millimeter converter for it, Vipen, because they're the obsolete 60 millimeter NATO filter format. Newest mask that I have, as in the most recent one I bought, or the most recent one in terms of production date? A couple of Sabaton songs, Preston, but I've never really listened to them properly. Are you asking Avon me? I thought you knew where I was from, unless you're asking somebody else. I'm just wondering if I can spot that screw while I'm waiting for some more messages. Right, the most recent mask I've had arrive is that French one, the one the Polish MP5 is based on, the ANF, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting the name of it. The one that says MRE on it for some reason. The most recent gas mask I have in terms of year of production could be either my CT12 or FM12, because they're like 2012 or 2011 on them or something. This Scott M98 is probably pretty new. Let's see if there's a date on the rubber itself. Should be one somewhere. Normally somewhere on one of these masks. There's the production date. Oh, hang on, what's that there? That's just a serial number, I think. I was just wondering then if that was a... I'm just going to peel the rubber back a bit on this and see if I can find the manufacture date on this one, just because I'm quite tempted to know when this is from. You know, there's a number on the side of that, but that only just says 123F, so no idea what that means. Again, that's the serial number there, not a date. That's interesting. Biomasks, I have to look them up then. Sorry, I'm just a bit distracted trying to work out where the bloody production date is on this mask. Because normally they're always like on the straps or... Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is on the straps. She's saying that this one's only from 2003, so this definitely isn't my most recent mask, even though it was like new unissued when I got it. I've got quite a few masks from the early 2000s or like late 90s. See, I'm old compared to a lot of people, then I'm 1993, but then there's some people on here who were born in like in the 80s or 70s or whatever, so I'm not old compared to them. I didn't realise Poland started buying the MP5s or like producing the MP5s that early. Because obviously it's a clone of another mask done on production license. I wasn't even really aware that France moved away from the M51 at that point, because in the late 80s they were still using the M51 or M53. Oh, technically, I can tell you what my newest mask is. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Yeah, here's my newest mask. We'll see if it works with this helmet as well. Why not? Yeah, this is my newest mask, as far as I'm aware. The Chinese 3M style rip-off one. And let's see if I can see a rubber production date on here. This will basically be within a year old, because it's like, you know, a modern one made for people to buy kind of mask, not a surplus mask. I'm just trying to remember where they put the date on this. I can't actually see it. I'm still not sure what you're on about, Killstrike. Or are you saying you've posted a picture of it in Discord? Is that what you're saying? Let me have a look. So I still don't know what you mean when you keep saying this little mask. Yeah, because sometimes the masks, different bits of them are made at different periods. And then they're just assembled together in a thing. That's not a German mask. That's why it's yeah. What you're on about is the PDF2. Yeah, that's the PDF2. It's nothing to do with Germany. That's why you're surprised me. It's a Russian mask. It's a Soviet mask. Right, I'll get that in a second. No, because I've got this at the moment, so I'm not going to need to upgrade for ages. So I don't buy watches just for the sake of constantly getting more watches, because that's not a very good way of spending money. I'm saving up now for a FLIR camera, because it's getting to the point where you can get a FLIR Scout for about £600 or less. So I can do proper night vision videos with a FLIR camera. Let's just see if this works with a helmet. I've never liked the look of G-Shocks, to be honest. I know a lot of people like them, but I've just never been a G-Shock fan. They look way too chunky for my sort of liking. Right, let's just get this done up properly. It's not quite actually going onto the curves of my face today for some reason, this mouse. Just trying to work out why. Right, that's better. Right, again, the straps come off, but it's going to keep doing that until I get the thing. Thanks, Preston. No, I don't think this is going to work with this one, sadly. It works with a few others, but not really this one. It sticks up way too much. Let's try the Mark 6 regular. Again, not really. I suppose that's not too bad, is it? But there's still... Hose gas mask at the top left. You on about the VistaVision right the way over there? That's the Sieb Gorman VistaVision. Right, yeah, so you're on about the PDF2, weren't you? This was the mask you're on about, Killstrike, wasn't it? It's not a German mask, that's why you're confusing me. Oh yeah, this is the weird one, isn't it, of the French system. So yeah, as you can see, that's way too small for me. It'll make that noise. Let's just see if I can get the strap done up. If I can actually get the buckle bit to connect. Never mind, I won't do the buckle. I'm not doing a pressure test with it, am I? Right. If that's what you wanted to see, there you go. But no, it doesn't fit properly. To answer your question, it sticks way up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Steve, I'll add you to the Discord as soon as the stream ends, because then I don't have to keep trying to load things up and send messages while, doing the thing. It's because it's meant to be used with like a coffee can style filter, so bits of it vibrate when there's too much airflow going through, because there's no filter attached to that. It means when you breathe out, the pressure of the mask's different. Right, cool, Steve. Yeah, I'll send you a thing later. When you're on Patreon, I can just send you a invite code through Patreon. The not the PBF, the Shums does it as well, even louder, because the voice diaphragm just vibrates on that. Yeah, it's strange, but it's something to do with air pressure, isn't it? As far as I'm aware, like valves, like reverberating really quickly rather than like staying open or staying closed. And obviously, with a voice diaphragm, I can understand it, because voice diaphragms can't open or close; they just vibrate. So yeah, if there's too much air pressure, I imagine it could just reverberate really quickly. Yeah, I'll be off in a couple of minutes anyway, because my stomach's hurting again and I need to heat up the thing. Let me just tidy these up. I'm going to put this away after today's stream in the other room. Filter can come off this. I couldn't find a date on this, but yeah, to answer your question, this would technically be my newest gas mask, whoever asked earlier, in terms of production date. So there's that one. This one has its little orange bag to go back in. Where did I put that? There, I put it there. This actually came as a drawstring bag, but I had to cut the drawstring off because whoever tied it in the factory had tied it like 10 times to the point I couldn't undo the string, so I just bloody cut it off. It's not the highest quality bag anyway, it's just sort of annoying that, yeah, you did get a sealable drawstring of this, but factory worker decided to do it up so well nobody could undo it. There we go. M71, put him back down there. There we go. I don't think all that much interesting stuff's happened, Chris. A lot of people wanted me to try the Mark 6 and the Mark 6A helmet on the different masks. Works on more than I thought it would, actually, with quite a few of them. You end up getting the thing that's quite good, where the ridge on the Mark 6 directly sits on the sort of ridge just above the panoramic lenses on some mask. So it does make, as good a seal as it's going to do with your head and still go as low down as possible. I know that the Mark 6s were designed, weren't they, to fit with the S10 and everything, so that makes sense in that regard. But, it still surprises me sometimes when helmets work that well. Right, Richard, I don't get to see the doctor until not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. Just because I could get an earlier appointment on an emergency appointment, but to actually, wait to get a proper appointment, I had to book for 2 weeks, and I wanted to see a doctor I've seen before about medications, so they kind of don't know what, your case has been with medications before. Ideally, if on the Monday they approve it, I can go to the pharmacy the same day and pick it up. It might be the pharmacy has to order Nefapam in, because if the pharmacy doesn't have Nefapam in by default, I don't know if a lot of pharmacies do. You have to, wait for a couple of days while they put it on an order for you. But definitely by the end of that week, I'd have Nefapam, and then within a day or two of taking it, my body should start to adjust to it again, and I should be, to give you some idea, Nefapam isn't an opioid, so it's not meant to be addictive, and you're not meant to be able to build a tolerance up to it. It's normally 30 mg of Nefapam they give you in a tablet, and then they tell you to take 1 or 2. 30 mg of Nefapam is, I think, equal to something like 20 mg of morphine. It's pretty, strong in terms of like the morphine equivalent, even obviously it's not an opioid, but yeah, so in terms of that, it's a lot stronger than what I'm currently on, but it's not an opioid. But I didn't like it the first time they put it on me because I got lots of nausea and sort of fatigue from it. But I'm getting all those symptoms now anyway, so I'm just sort of, fuck it, I just want a painkiller that works. Yeah, hopefully, Richard. Do you have one of those online account things, or do you just have to phone up? Because now I've got one of the online things that's quite good, where you can request repeat medications through the online thing, which is great for me because I generally have to keep ordering different things for colitis every 2 weeks. So, I hate going down to the doctors to fill out a form to put through, their into their box when it's easier just to submit it online. And you can book appointments on there where you can look for a day and then you can pick a time slot and it shows you which doctors are available. So that's quite good. It's better than phoning up for that. That's cool that your glasses rest on the outside of it. Pug Station, I've put a lot of them away now, but if you won't get a Scott M98 really cheap, but if you can get a panoramic mask quite cheap for spray painting, like the Chinese panoramic masks and all those, they're comfortable enough and you get a good field of view. So I'd say probably something like this. You don't really need like a military optical style mask or anything for paint spraying. Well, weirdly, it's been mentioned several times on this stream. I've got a Discord servers for donators, not for random people. Anyway, I'll be off in like a minute because my stomach hurts and I need to put this in the microwave again. So what I need to do is I'll just open Patreon up ready. I need to sort out Chris's invite as soon as the stream ends. Not Chris, sorry. Steve's. He's already given me his Discord. That's good. Right, I'll do that as soon as the stream ends. Depends if you go on definition, but basically, yeah, gas mask, respirator, protective mask, anti-gas mask, all those sort of names are pretty much the same things for the same, whatever. What, nice hiss on the tray? What are you on about, Preston? No, that's not correct. Respirator literally just means it's breathing equipment. You'd call a half face mask and a full face mask names like that, but all of those masks on there would be classed as respirators on the poster. Some are like little dust masks, some are full face masks. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching some of the stream later, Peach, because they can cheer me up quite a bit if I'm in a bit of a mood and, feel ill. Where, having a chat and a laugh cheers you up, doesn't it? Right, anyway, I'll go off then. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the donations I've had tonight. I appreciate it. And the people that joined up on Patreon. So just before I go, just so I don't forget, if you want to support me, you can either do super chats like some people did today. So thank you for that. Support me on Patreon like people did today. Thanks for that. And you can buy the merch. Let me shill it now. Like hoodies and mugs and everything. From the Teespring link below. So if you're interested in any of these fine goods, you know where to find them. Right. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's just my evening now. But yeah, I'll see you on Weapon Collector's stream later, the people that are on there. And I'll be going, ow, my stomach hurts probably throughout the whole thing. But yeah, see you later. Bye.